Hey, I am Royal Farris, and this is talk number 4 on grief. Thank you so much for watching. You know, I got an email from a friend this week, and she said one of the things that she struggles with most about her grief, and she has lost 2 people that she loved in the last year, is that people, if she brings up one of those people, someone will say, well, isn't it time for you to be getting on, or shouldn't you be over your grief by now? So in answer to her question, here are 10 things you don't say to a grieving person. Now, can I start off with talking to the person who is grieving? It's very important for you to understand that your friends are not going to understand. They're never going to understand. So they're going to say stupid things, and they're going to avoid you. And you just need to know that. It doesn't mean they don't love you. It just means you make them very uncomfortable. And you, most likely, because most people are, you would be uncomfortable in the same situation. So even in the midst of your pain, trying to understand that is very important. Now, if you're one of the friends, let me give you some things to say that'll help. And what you need to understand is, if you say the right things, it will open up a discussion, and you'll actually be able to become a listener. So the first thing, and being a person who's been around church for a long time, I can tell you, a lot of people say this: God will never give you more than you can handle. That is such bad theology. It is so wrong. Look, throughout Scripture, we see Bible heroes are the ones that God gave them things they couldn't handle, and then they handled it with God. But that's not what we would say. How about this? Man, this must be so hard for you. Now you listen. You just listen. You nod. Active listening is so important part of helping someone. The more someone talks, the more they're going to go along and be healed. You don't have the answers, so don't give them any answers. Another bad one: I'm sure this is for the best, or God does everything for the reason. Again, bad theology, and if you want, I'll talk about that theology in another video. But that doesn't make sense at all to the person that's hurting. God has a plan. This is God's plan. What does that do to what they think about God? The best thing to say is that you don't understand, and that's the true answer. You know, as a pastor, I'm supposed to know things, but I don't understand, and I tell people that all the time, and I can, because it's the truth. I never feel bad about saying that. I feel bad I can't help somebody. But you don't understand, so just say it. Maybe the worst thing to do is to not say anything at all. And the reason is because that's going to come across to the person in grief is that you don't care. You're not really their friend. Now, we do that naturally because we don't know what to say, and because we're uncomfortable. We don't know how to comfort them. It's okay to say, you know, I'm not really sure what I can do for you or how I can help, because I really don't understand, but I'm here to listen, and I'm here for you. I'm your friend. I'm not going to bail on you. And then don't bail. Be that friend, because a lot of friends will bail. This sounds right, but it doesn't come across right to a person who's in pain. He's in a better place. Well, he's not feeling any pain at all. Now, those are some things that I say in the middle of grief counseling, at the right time, in the right place, prepared to respond if they don't respond to it. It's okay to say, you know, you must really miss him terribly. Now, that may sound like, duh, I mean, how simple is that? It is simple, but again, that's going to open up the opportunity for that person to say what's on their mind. And never, ever, ever say, I know how you feel. I know exactly how you feel. Terrible. You don't. You've grieved, and you had pain, and you understand your pain, but you don't understand the other person's pain. And what you're doing for that person is you're discounting their grief. Say, I can't begin to understand how you feel. And then on the whole, don't you think you should be over it by now, as my friend was asking? There is a timeline, but everybody's timeline is different. A lot of it depends on the intensity, the environment, whether they're working through it, all of those things, but you have no control over that. So I know this is still really painful for you, and I'm still here. That's a good answer. Again, it opens up the conversation. And you don't ever want to put the person on a guilt trip. You know, she wouldn't want you to be sad, or he wouldn't want you to be sad. Well, that is a true statement. but it's a guilt trip. That person is sad. They miss that person. They're not thinking, they're trying to explain to themselves that that person's in a better place or whatever, but there's a lot of pain. Say something like, I can really see that you're still really struggling and are in a lot of pain. And again, I'm here for you. And I know people say this without really thinking, oh, you'll get married again, or you have other kids, or you can have more children. Look, they love and they miss that person. And again, you're discounting their grief, and you're discounting the place that that person had in their lives. I know how much you miss him, and I'm so sad that he's gone. You really shouldn't be sad in front of your kids. You should be the strong one. No, that's, again, the kids need to see her or him grieve. And they need to know that they can talk to their mom or their dad or grandmother or whatever. I mean, it's an opportunity. And what you could say is, how are your kids feeling? And what that'll do, one, is it'll make that person start thinking about how their kids are feeling maybe and want to talk to them. But that's again, it's a chance for you to listen. And then lastly, and again, this really sounds like the right thing to say, and it's a caring thing to say, but for the person who's grieving, they have a really hard time thinking and may not know how to answer this. But if you say something like, well, what can I do to help? They're not going to know. They're probably going to say, oh, no, just pray for me, or I don't know, or whatever. Look, this is better. Hey, why don't I come get the kids and take them to the movie tonight? Or take them to Brahms? Or why don't I come mow your yard? Or just something practical. What you're doing is you're showing your love. You're being God's love with skin in a very practical way. And again, it will keep that conversation open and show that you are there. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you got something out of it. I hope it'll help you. If you're the griever, or you're the person who's the friend of the person who's grieving, if you know someone this would help, would you pass it on to them? If you will like or subscribe to my channel, other people will see that and it can help them as well. But I would love your comments or any questions you may have to maybe for a future talk. Again, thank you so much for watching. My next grief talk will be on Friday. God bless.